Welcome to Monarch After Dark, broadcast on KAWL, The Call, Monarch's Talk Radio. On tonight's episode, we examine the possibility that the lead detective in Monarch's recent homicides may also be the leader of a satanic death cult known as the Sigil of Ash. If you missed last week's episode, we received this anonymous phone call. Hello, you've reached Monarch After Dark.
I know who the killers are. I know who the Sigil of Ash are. I'm scared to say, but someone's got to say something.
Can you tell us your name?
I'm sorry. I can't. But I can tell you that the Sigil of Ash are Skinwalkers.
Wait, what does that mean?
They are demons that move through the world as animals. I've seen them change. They move as wolves. It's them. There's one more thing. Detective Brooks can't be trusted. He's their leader.
We don't want to jump to any conclusions about these serious accusations against Detective Brooks, so we sent KAWL's own Investigator Wells into the field to search for answers.
We reached out to the Monarch Police Department earlier today, and this was their response. First, Detective Brooks vehemently denies any connection to the Sigil of Ash. Second, these baseless and slanderous attacks against Detective Brooks will not be tolerated, and civil charges may be brought against any media outlet that promotes these conspiracy theories. We continue to ask for the public support in finding the murders of John Kelly, Andrew Jenkins, and Brenda Tuttleman. Thank you. In addition to the anonymous phone call, we've also received information from other credible sources suggesting Detective Brooks may be involved in illicit activity. With this new information, my team and I are preparing to investigate further. I'll provide an update as soon as we learn more.
As fear grips the city, we speak with local business owners about the Sigil of Ash killings and how they've affected business.
Business has been very slow. Usually, we can count on a busy weekend, but this past Sunday, our only customers were two older couples, both from out of town. Part of what makes the PO newsstand unique is that we carry newspapers from all over the country, including the Monarch Dispatch. They took one look at the headline about the Sigil of Ash killings and left in the middle of their meal. They threw cash on the table and hurried out. I've never seen anything like it.
The 10 p.m. curfew is a joke. It's been in effect and people still keep getting murdered. Usually a homicide here and there doesn't shake up my regulars too much, but these Sigil of Ash killings have scared the hell out of people. The only ones coming in now are winos and deadbeats, guys begging for a drink with no money to pay for it. It's a sad state of affairs. Friday and Saturday nights are usually busy, even with the curfew, but not this past weekend. Only a couple of drunks showed up and we had to throw them out because they couldn't pay. The city was so quiet you could hear a pin drop.
We arrived at the old railroad factory about an hour ago. We followed Detective Brooks here after work. He drove into the darkness of the abandoned factory, and a few minutes later, a reddish light began glowing inside. We crept as close as we could and heard voices, but they weren't speaking English. We believe it was Latin. We couldn't get any closer without exposing ourselves, but we did manage to take a few blurry snapshots from about 20 yards away while hiding behind cover. As you can see, there appears to be a crowd gathered inside. Strange indeed. Once the meeting ended, only Detective Brooks came out. The others vanished. But there's more. After the meeting, we searched the area for clues and found this. It appears to be some kind of satanic necklace or charm. We'll have our experts examine it.
While Investigator Wells continues making progress on the Sigil of Ash case, we've invited Professor Green, a folklorist and a specialist in satanic cults, to help us understand what may be happening in Monarch. Welcome to the show, Professor Green.
Thank you for having me.
Very little is known about the Sigil of Ash, and there's a great deal of hysteria surrounding these murders. Can you shed any light on what may be going on?
Certainly. First, we need to understand what type of satanic cult we may be dealing with. Broadly speaking, there are two kinds. The first is the human variety. groups that may commit murder or even human sacrifice in an attempt to gain favor with Lucifer. The second type isn't truly a cult at all, but rather hellspawn entities, imps, succubi, pit fiends, and demon kings. These creatures act directly on the commands of Satan himself.
I try to keep an open mind, Professor, but you're talking about supernatural creatures, mythical beings that don't exist.
I assure you, they are very real. And based on the evidence in the letters and phone calls, I believe we may be dealing with hellspawn entities, or skinwalkers, as one caller suggested.
What evidence in the letters or phone calls leads you to believe that?
One letter said, "The next is marked, already carved into the bones of Monarch." I don't believe that line is figurative. Hellspawn creatures are ranked. There are scouts and there are killers. What you're describing fits the scouts, servants acting on the devil's command, marking a victim by visiting them in their sleep, turning to vapor, and carving an unseen mark onto the victim's bones, one visible only to the killers, a beacon that only the damned can see.
That's deeply unsettling, Professor. But why are these creatures here? Don't they usually reside in hell?
They are usually summoned by a demon king, one who can and often does imitate humans. The demon king acts as a general under Satan's command, directing the skinwalkers to carry out his will.
So where do demon kings come from?
They are ancient beings, and according to legend, some escaped to Earth during the time of Christ.
I hate to interrupt, Professor, but we've received new information from our investigator in the field.
Our team has analyzed the satanic seal necklace found at the old factory. They've confirmed that it is what's known as a summoning charm. Whoever left it there was attempting to summon supernatural entities, and from all appearances, that person was Detective Brooks.
We're back with Professor Green. You heard what Investigator Wells found. What are your thoughts?
It sounds like you're dealing with a demon king, and that he and Satan himself have set their sights on the town of Monarch.
Professor, that's not comforting news, but we're out of time. This has been Monarch After Dark, broadcast on KAWL, The Call, Monarch's Talk Radio. Stay tuned for more episodes of Monarch After Dark, and don't forget to like and subscribe.